And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. That's Genesis 1 2. Now, I want to talk about the gap theory as part of my study on world history from a Bible believer's perspective. So I hope if you watch the video, you'll click like and subscribe or follow and share the video with someone else. Save it to your favorites, post it again. Feel free to make comments. So this, because the Hebrew word for without form, translated tohu, is translated as transliterated tohu, as is translated as in vain in Isaiah 45:18, and it is said he didn't create it that way. Some people believe there's a large gap between Genesis 1:1 and 1:2, allowing for millions and millions of years, dinosaurs, ape men, and the like. Well, one of the problems with the gap theory is that there's a problem of death entering the world with Adam's sin, Romans 5:12, not before. The counter to this is that the word world in that verse is cosmos, referring to the world system. However, this is stretching the clear and literal meaning of the text. Anglican Archbishop Ussher calculated backwards from the Bible and other sources and came to a date of 4004 BC for creation, or 6,000 years ago. The Hebrew year coinciding with 2025 was, I think, 5786. The Hebrew year begins in autumn, while the Hebrew day begins in the evening, and 5786 began on September 23rd, 2025, if I'm not mistaken. Now, although it's not part of the gap theory, there were some writers in the 1800s that did believe that there were long ages between Genesis 1:1 and 1:2. They didn't call it the gap theory, but they said that animals died, that the reference to death entering the world with Adam's sin was only a reference to people dying. So, all of that is it's fine argument, twisting things around, arguing things back and forth, trying to understand them in your mind. And that's how we learn. We learn from each other too. But truthfully, I don't personally see evidence of a gap. I don't see that means that a gap theory must be true. However, if you believe that, that's fine. So I hope that you'll feel free to make comments on what I've said here. And I'd like to see what you have to say. Please use your scripture citations if you're going to disagree with me. I like to see those. I like to learn. But I don't believe there's a gap between Genesis 1:1 and 1:2. Do you?